And what we're going to do is we're going to review point, slope, slope, intercept, but we're going to pick up a third form today called standard form. Okay? Now the nice thing is it's just an extension of what we're already doing. Okay? So it's nothing brand new. We're just extending what we know about a little bit. Okay? All right, so remind me, what's point, slope, form? All right? Point, slope, form. Raise your hand. Alexa, start us off.
Y minus y1 equals mx minus x1.
Beautiful job. Okay, so point, slope. All right, so now on the next one, slope, intercept form. What do we got there? Ellie?
Y equals mx plus b.
Very good. Okay, so those are review. Those are the two things we've already worked on. Keep in mind that point, slope, you need a point and a slope. Slope, intercept, you need the slope and the intercept. Right? Okay, now standard form. This is a new guy. Okay? Does anybody know or remember anything about standard form if you've learned about it in the past? No? Okay, it's okay if you don't. This is not a common one. Okay? It is AX plus BY equals C. AX plus BY equals C. Okay? Now, A, B, C are numbers. Okay? So they're just numbers in front of the variable. A, B, and C are just going to be numbers in front of variables. Okay? Alright, so now in standard form, notice how the x and the y are on the same side. Okay, so we're going to be working ourselves down through there, and then we're going to have to move the x over so that it's on the same side as the y in the end. Okay? Now, there are two very, very important rules with this. Okay? The first rule is that there can be no fractions or decimals. Okay, no fractions or decimals, and your final answer when we're talking about standard form. Okay, the other part is A must be positive. Okay, A must be positive. Okay, so A, B, and C are numbers. There can be no fractions or decimals involved in those. Okay, and that A value, that value in front of the x has to be a positive number. Okay, positive number. All right, so let's look at our first example here. And like I said, I've just embedded examples throughout your worksheet. Okay, so the first example here, we've got a slope of -2 passes through 3, 6. Review. How do we put that in point slope? Raise your hand, please. How do we put that in point slope? All right, Alexis.
Y minus 6 equals -2x minus 3.
To parentheses, x minus 3. Okay, so point slope, right? Y minus our y value equals our slope, x minus our x value. All right, slope intercept form. So what are we going to do now to take this to slope intercept form? James?
You're going to distribute the -2.
Good. Okay, and I'm just going to kind of put my work down right underneath it. So I'm going to have y minus 6 equals -2x and a positive 6. Negative times negative is a positive. All right, what would be my next step here? Okay, raise your hand, guys. Add the 6. Very good. Okay, so I get y equals -2x plus 12. Okay, so keep in mind that here's an answer and here's an answer. That's what needs to go on the line. And then kind of that in-between stuff's just the work. Okay? All right, so now this is where we're picking up the last part today. Standard form. So how do I get the x and the y on the same side? How would we get the x and the y? Emma?
Add the 2x over.
Yeah, very good. So I'm always going to move that x over to the other side. So I'm going to add 2x and get 2x plus y equals 12. Okay, so now I'm looking at this final answer here. So when I kick that 2x over, okay, do we have any fractions or decimals? No, so we're good. Is my value in front of x? So in other words, is the 2 positive? Yes, so we've met all the rules. Okay? All right, so just the x and the y have to be on the same side in standard form. All right? All right, I want you to flip pages, and we're looking at example 4 or problem number 4 now. Problem number 4. Alright, what is the first thing that needs to happen when I have two corner points? Manuel?
You have to do y2 minus y1,
Over.
x1, x2 minus x1.
Very good. We gotta find the slope. Okay, find the slope. So Emmanuel, set that up for me. And guys, I'm just gonna put it off to the side here, okay? So
Negative 6 minus 3.
we'll be careful. Those will be your x's. And this gonna go on top.
What?
Does y go on top or x's?
Y.
Okay, so try that again.
Wait, mine
What?
is different.
Are you
Oh,
on number
no.
4?
Oh, I was on number 3, sorry.
Okay,
5 minus 11,
good.
and then negative 6 minus 3.
Maybe what minus
Minus negative
negative 3. There you go. Good. Okay. So on the top, 5 minus 11, negative 6. Okay, double negative becomes positive, so it's negative 3 plus 6. Or sorry, negative 6 plus 3. Negative 3. So what's that going to reduce to?
1 half, 2, negative 2.
Just 2. No, it'll be positive, right? Negative
Oh,
1 and
yeah,
negative
yeah.
will be positive. Okay, so positive 2. Alright? So I have found my slope. Right? Okay, now does it matter what point I pick for point slope form?
No.
No? What do you guys want to pick?
Second one.
Okay, the second one it is. So negative 6, 5. Alright? Alright, Malcolm, write point slope here for me using that negative 6, 5.
Oh, oh. 5, no, y
Y, good.
minus,
What's your Y value?
what is 5?
Yeah, that's right, good.
2, in parentheses, x, negative 6,
Okay, did you say minus or plus?
minus,
Okay, so minus negative 6, and then double negative will become a positive, right? Very good, nice job, okay? Alright, so now let's put it into slope intercepts form. Guadalupe, you're next. What are we going to start there?
Distribute
The 2. Okay, what do you get when you distribute the 2?
2x plus 4.
Good. Alright. Diana, what are we going to do next to get that y by itself?
Subtract the 5.
We'll be careful.
Oh, add the 5.
Alright. So I have y equals 2x plus 17. Okay, so here was my point slope. Here's my slope intercepts. Anybody have a question on that? Alright, so now what are we going to do next to make it look like standard form? Standard form. Okay. Yeah.
But then it's negative.
Okay, good. Just hang on. He's right. What everybody's saying is correct. Okay, we are going to subtract the 2x over. Alright, so we have negative 2x plus y equals 17. And then someone chimed in, wait. That makes this guy negative, and that's an issue, right? It has to be positive out front. Okay, so we don't have any fractions or decimals, so that part checks off okay. How do we get rid of just the negative? I don't want to get rid of the 2, because if I get rid of the 2, then I have to divide all this by 2, and that's going to make a fraction. So we don't want to move the 2. All we want to move is that negative. Caitlin?
Divide by negative 1.
Divide by negative 1. So divide by a negative all the way through, and that takes care of your problem. In essence, what you're doing is just flipping your signs. Okay? So we're going to divide everything by negative 1. Okay? So now I've got a positive 2x, a minus y, and a negative 17. Okay? We don't care. Oh, that's not what I wanted to do. We don't care if the whole thing, if everything else is negative. We don't care about the y and the number, the c value. All we care about is that front part positive. Okay? All right, so let's go ahead and write a side note about that. Make sure that we've got that down. Okay? So divide by negative 1 when the a value is negative. Okay? And that'll take care of that. All right, does anybody have a question on this example? Okay? All right, let's flip then and find our next example. Example number 7. Example number 7. Alright, so we already are given the slope, so we don't have to find the slope, okay? Evan, write point slope form for us. What's that gonna look like?
Y minus 3
Good.
equals -2. I mean -1/2 times 2. Times x minus 2.
Nice job. Nice job. Okay? Alright, so now what are we gonna do next? What do we think? What will be our next step when we're going to slope intercept? Daniel?
Distribute.
Good. So we're gonna distribute the -1/2. So I have y minus 3 equals -1/2. Okay, and negative times a negative is gonna be a positive. And what's half of 2? 1. Okay, so we get a +1. Okay? Alright, what would we do next here, Tatiana? How do we get that y by itself? Be careful, not subtract. There you go, good. So add 3 to both sides. So y equals -1/2 x plus 4. Alright, so there was point slope. There's my slope intercept. Okay. Alright, so now what do I need to do then to start for standard form? Emma?
Add 1/2 x to the other side.
Good. So we're going to keep with our same rules. We're going to go ahead and move the x over to the other side. So we've got 1/2 x plus y equals 4. Okay? Now, we obviously have an issue here though, don't we? Okay, what's the problem that we have? Fraction. So how do we get rid of a fraction? Caitlin? No, we're not going to divide by the reciprocal. Okay, close. We're actually not going to use the reciprocal though. We're just going to multiply by the 2 on the bottom, okay? Because if there's another number up here on top, let's say this was like 5/2, if I were to flip it and call it 2/5, I'd still have fractions, okay? So what we're going to do is we're just going to multiply by whatever's on the bottom. So we're going to multiply every part by 2. We're going to clear the fraction. That's what we talked about back in chapter 2, clear the fraction. So I'm going to multiply everything here by 2, okay? So half of 2 is still 1. So you can put x or 1x. 2 times y, 2y. And 2 times 4 is 8. So now, I have no fractions, and this guy right here is positive. That's good to go, okay? So side note, we're going to go ahead and write a little note off to the side here. Okay, so here's my final answer. And I'm going to kind of put an arrow right here, okay? Multiply by the denominator. Or if you have to put bottom, put bottom. Okay, so multiply by the denominator to clear a fraction. Okay? Alright, once you get that down, flip to number 9. I want you to take a second and start working number 9 on your own. Okay, to see how far you can get.